Hi, President Trump. Our media company Red Ice promoted you during the presidential campaign, and I voted for you. It was actually the only time I did vote. You are the sitting president of the United States of America, a country that many say is the most powerful nation in the world, a country that claims to be so great because they value free speech and free enterprise. But the truth is, free speech is dead in this country, and it's up to you to resurrect and protect it. Mega corporations and tech giants in America are run by leftists. It's why we no longer hear lefties crying about capitalism and corporate rule, because now they are the totalitarian corporations. This cabal is united against you and against all your supporters. In fact, every major facet of our society is controlled by them, from banking, big tech, and of course, the media. They defame and hate you, and they defame and hate me too. Lefty orgs such as the crooked ADL and SPLC are working with mega corporations and tech giants to ban and deny services to people on the right. To ban and deny services to your supporters at every turn. You are the sitting president of America. I am one of your supporters that has been discriminated against for my political views. Recently, PayPal banned our company because of the nature of our activities. This is insanity. My husband and I make videos commenting on the news. My adorable journalist friend Faith Goldie also banned from PayPal. There have been many on the right banned from PayPal, and it will continue. Our crime is that we are anti-left and dare to question mainstream narratives. Yet PayPal and other gateways have put us on a prohibited businesses list, putting us in the same category as drug dealers, terrorists, and scam artists. Pedophiles and perverts of every kind get more sympathy from these companies. I am a wife and a mother who never advocated for violence. You see, anyone who supports you and is strongly against leftist policy is deemed violent and dangerous. The fact is, every group is protected under discrimination laws except for your supporters, except for people on the right. The fact is, mega tech giants claim to be against discrimination, but people such as myself are fair game to be discriminated against, slandered, and hated because we refuse to shut up and get in line with the leftist agenda. Trump supporters are the majority of this country, and yet the majority has zero protections. What are you going to do about your supporters who are turned away from restaurants, banned from platforms, and denied services simply because they support the sitting president of the USA? Meanwhile, these same companies say we never discriminate against people based on religion, sexuality, race, unless white, etc., etc. Where's the protection for free speech, for political views, for questioning or being critical or disagreeing with anything? Trump, pass a law to protect your supporters, to protect free speech, and to protect differing political viewpoints. We all know if tables were turned, they would be crying fascism, demanding change, but when they dominate, they rejoice in the suppression and destruction of others. They already dominate everything, yet still cry fascism. They get a small taste of opposition and cry fascism. While there is a loud minority who thinks I deserve to be iced out of society, raped, murdered, and my children starved for my views, there are even more who support me. The only reason why this majority remains silent, for now, is because of the discrimination and retribution they will face at their jobs. Your supporters are being fired, banned, and attacked physically for voting for you. What are you going to do about it? How is this even real in free speech, free market America? There are no free markets. Anytime an alternative platform arises, they are blocked by middlemen, such as Visa and MasterCard or ISPs. It is they who can't handle the competition. If Visa and MasterCard has this kind of power without any government intervention, then my gods, there will be no end to this. Bankers will and do have enormous power to discriminate against political views and completely ice someone out of the ability to provide for themselves, to live. How is this acceptable? If a free market means that PayPal can buy up every other company without limitations and have endless power to ban the people they don't agree with, then this market system is an enemy of the people. It's pretty much impossible for a true outsider to come in and start a bank or a new credit card processing avenue. It is a power-hungry, totalitarian cabal dictating who gets in. Long ago, basic utilities such as electricity and water were made public precisely so that everyone could have equal access and not be discriminated against. The thing is, these insane leftists would support the ability to cut off someone's electricity and water if they thought someone was a Nazi. If someone's a Nazi, it's fair game for violence, rape, abuse, and theft. Today, an online presence and the ability to do business online is essential for most people's survival to feed their children. It is the town square. It is impossible for most people to participate in the modern world without the internet and the dominant platforms. Personal and social life, professional life, career opportunities, freedom of expression, including the freedom to engage in political debate, are all done online these days. Censorship and banning people on the right won't end until you do something about it. If the free market is free to discriminate in some cases but not others, where does it end? Then banks will refuse to lend money based on your views. Landlords will deny contracts, gas stations deny service, grocery stores no food, clothing stores nope, can't shop here, cell phones deny service. There is no end to how far this will go unless we stop it. I am discriminated against for ideas. That is my crime. Thinking different. We live in a world where communists and violent lefties who support an ideology that has mass murdered millions have free reign and protections. And the sickening thing is, most of these huge companies would be nowhere if it weren't for mostly straight, white, right-leaning men. But now that they're too big to challenge, they openly discriminate against straight white men who oppose the anti-white male agenda. They use this demographic to ultimately destroy this demographic, and that was probably their plan all along. Commies always had the agenda to use capitalism as their tool. I have committed no crime other than thinking differently and challenging the status quo, and for that Red Ice is a prohibited business. The funny thing is that according to PayPal's governance guidelines, they say they respect and value uniqueness. Check this out. Actively listen and seek diversity of thought. Lies! What a joke! They don't want diversity of thought. They want leftist domination. Well, to those who say you deserve it because you talked about X, Y, and Z, then you too support thought policing. Well, eventually, it will come back around to you. Trump, they also would love nothing more than for your family to be completely broken and cut off. We're dealing with maniacs and power who need to be restrained. It's not even about money anymore. It's about ideology and social engineering. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but agree with this. We must put an end to censorship and the murder of free speech, free thought, and free association. I am not a supporter of censorship in any form. It always backfires. Where are you, Trump? I and many with me urge you to take action and enable protections for free speech and against political discrimination. Our country is not free. Trump, help us. Everyone, please write PayPal via email, snail mail, and call them nonstop. Keep it coming and let them know how you feel about Red Eyes, Faith Goldie, and many others on the right being banned from their service for thinking different. Here is the email for CEO Dan Schulman, president in San Jose, dan@paypal.com. Here are other generic emails and phone numbers. We love and value all our supporters, members, and those who have donated as we transition and diversify into other payment options to help keep Red Ice going and growing. We are true independent media and have a small staff to produce content, but we must continue to grow and bring on more people to produce more content. With PayPal banning us, we've lost all our members in the process, members that help sustain our operations. In the links below, you'll find one of the many ways you can help donate to us. Be sure to check our website, redicemembers.com, in the coming week to sign up for a membership or re-sign up when yours lapses. Again, thank you for donating. You have no idea how much you all mean to us. This path isn't easy and it's only going to get bumpier, but I know the truth is on our side and the tide is changing. I'm in it for the long haul, for my family and for yours. Much love.
Hey folks, Henrik here with Red Ice TV. In a coordinated attack by the lefty big tech companies, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, and a host of others, in a coordinated move, have all banned Alex Jones from the social media platforms he and InfoWars was on. YouTube terminated the entire Alex Jones channel with over 2 million subscribers for, as usual, undefined hate speech violations. Truth is hate to those who hate hearing not only the truth, but also perspectives that they just don't want to hear or want to reach other people. Free speech is officially dead in America. This is truly an unprecedented move in an Orwellian, which isn't enough of a strong word. This is beyond that. In a sickening Big Brother authoritarian move, they have launched a coordinated attack on one of the biggest alternative media voices out there, And I think that this will show itself to be a huge mistake, because this is far from over. This is just the beginning. They are celebrating this already on slime stream, fake news media. CNN are rooting for Apple to remove InfoWars' new app from the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Get it before it's too late. The reality is that this is going to kick off a massive counterattack and a flood of backlash against these companies. And this is the battle that you are going to be involved in. This is just beginning. And remember, we are all right with free speech for them, for anyone else, for those we don't agree with, as long as they let us have ours. We let people that we don't agree with have their voices heard. Most people that I know are okay with having it all laid out on the table, everything be out there, and let the best ideas win. We are not the ones initiating this battle. They are always hitting us first while they cry out like they are the victim. This is the fight that you'll be joining in on, and for real begin the pushback against the hatred by the leftists and those who are gloating and wallowing in this move, and the open discrimination of those who truly think differently, against those who want to see a different world than the one that the liberal world order is building on the ruins of our nations and the ashes of Western civilization. And it's not a beautiful phoenix that's rising here. It's a deformed genetic misfit, a creature, an evil monster that's plaguing everyone that it decides to torment and target. The dragon simply needs to be slain. This is not some Hollywood twisted plot twist where the weirdo outsider actually turns out to be the good guy in the end. This is as simple as it gets. This is Beowulf style. The hero needs to save his people and slay the dragon. So this is the moment where you, together with anyone across the board that ultimately is for free speech and against censorship, join and unite and push back against these hysterical anti-free speech far-left activists that have set off the domino effect that's coming. Now, I'm sick and tired of everyone saying this line, but it is true. You do not have to agree with everything Alex Jones talk or doesn't talk about. That is not what this is about. This is not about Sandy Hook or what you think happened on 9/11 or conspiracies, be they facts or theories. This is about the slippery slope and the dangerous precedent that this sets and the countless others that they are going to target next. They are just starting with InfoWars, but they are not going to end with InfoWars. Even you retards out there that are laughing at this will be crushed by the very system that you're encouraging to be built to censor Alex Jones and InfoWars by giving your consent to this particular move. But you're just too stupid to realize that. You think that you're on the winning team now. The elites are opting for the control of everything, and you don't understand this. They are going to attempt to control all of it and ban everyone that is going to say anything that they don't like, anything that goes against them, that exposes what they are doing and what their plans are. Anyone that doesn't sing the praise of the establishment's enforced speech restrictions and behavioral protocols will fall, no matter how little you are involved. Now, what's happened is that normal behavior and preferences, even just 15, 20 years ago, has now been reclassified as extremism. So don't think that your current behavior is going to be accepted in just 10, 15 years from now. In this new world that they are building, they will come for you and for your children too. They are attempting to push for full spectrum dominance here. This is nothing new. The music you listen to, the films you like to watch, the TV shows you look at, the culture you enjoy, even the food and the basic human emotions and impulses that you have now is being sought to be transformed and reshaped into a new idea of man itself. They have already done this and outlawed perfectly natural and essential human emotions already. Can you tell me which ones these are? If they get their way, which ones will they outlaw next? You tell me. Nationalists, people on the right, conservatives, alt-right people, alt-light people are all bunched together and are all targeted because they see us as the biggest obstacle and opposition to their dream of a new, globalized and homogenized world. We are the ones that have woken up a lot of people most effectively. We are actually the ones offering a true resistance and a different way forward. Sure, in the wake of this, the left will end up dominating for some time, but they always turn on themselves. Eventually, everyone is sent to the gulags and heads of the Revolutionary Guard that made all of this possible, their heads will roll, just like it did during the French Revolution and in the Soviet Union. These people, you have to understand, are mad. They are insane. But we are not there yet, so let's assess where we are and what is going on right now. This is a time when they are losing the grip of everything. The globalists, the liberal world order. They need everyone to obey and follow orders so they can continue to build their little open-air human laboratory and the rat mazes for this new man, the genetic misfit, the low IQ grunt species that they have imagined, and is actively involved in creating right now as we speak. They need control, and in this attempt to control everything, they are going to destroy everything. This means nations, cultures, people, differences, IQ, beauty itself, basically anything. Old traditional standing structure that shows us that there is a different future that is possible here. One that is built with the past in consideration and on the foundation of the past, not on the ashes of it. All of this is about what the next step is going to be and what is going to happen next if you do not put your foot down right now and join this fight against the efforts to control and regulate not only the internet but everything. Everyone should support InfoWars and Alex Jones at this time and help. Do everything that you can to spread awareness of this unprecedented move and this unreal censorship program that now is running on all cylinders. InfoWars today, whom tomorrow? They set up strawmen of what they think we are and the messages that they think that we come with. They do this so that they can misrepresent us and the messages that we actually carry, so that the far left extremists within these big tech companies can justify their blocking, their censoring, their shadow banning, and ultimately the termination of our accounts, and thereby restricting access to the platforms that now are the public square, where the most important discussions take place, and restricting one's access to it is effectively a gag order, not issued by a judge after a trial by a jury, but by unelected far-left political radicals in tech companies that actually just happen to be behind the platforms that became big and favored, and thereby creating a monopoly. This is a monopoly. They have monopoly on these platforms. They're the biggest ones around, and that's the reason why people want to and need to be on them. They effectively dehumanize us, which of course is what they claim that the Nazis did, which they always call you to defame you and to tarnish your reputation so that no one will listen to you and your ideas. But this doesn't make them Nazis, though. Don't make this mistake. They are of the same old genocidal flavor that the communists were made out of. They are like the Bolsheviks, and they are on the rise again in the form of democratic socialism in America. And just like in Russia, the chronological order to perfect this vision of theirs always calls for and leads to gulags and mass murder on an industrial scale that the world has never seen before. If you don't believe me, look it up and look at how many bodies the Bolsheviks and the Russian Revolution actually created, and communism overall around the world. All the tech companies are working in unison, and they are coordinating, mass banning Alex Jones and InfoWars on virtually the same day, in the same couple of hours. Antitrust and the monopoly angle can be argued here in court. Racketeering, it is a conspiracy by a small clique of, again, unelected people in San Francisco, in these Silicon Valley companies that control way too much these days. And their own individual biases and preferences dictate who can have a voice on these platforms. And again, this is what basically has become the new public square. There needs to be a lawsuit against these companies. Politicians need to pass legislation against this behavior, and we need an Internet Bill of Rights. So here's what's going to happen next. You need to get involved and fight, and you need to fight harder than you ever have done before. Call your congressman, your senator if you're in the United States, get a hold of your politicians, write emails, call them on the phone, text them, set up petitions. There needs to be a massive wave of people flooding their politicians, their representatives, with requests to deal with this issue. Bringing this to the attention of people who are in politics and positions of influence. This needs to come to the awareness of President Trump, and I'm sure it already has, considering that he tweeted about shadow banning not too long ago. But in short, He needs to do something against this, about this. Also, GOP House Leader Kevin McCarthy said that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey should testify. And if he does this, this is going to blow up right in their faces. But Twitter is just one platform. There's many others that need to be held accountable. YouTube, Facebook, even though Mark Zuckerberg testified, not much came out of that. He continued to lie, and he continued to just say, we'll answer you guys later on this, when they never will, never have. YouTube need to be there as well, including PayPal and these other payment services that are throwing people off their services to these gateways. The second thing that you're going to do is to organize with your friends, all the groups that you're in contact with online. I personally don't have time to do this, but the same people that put on, I don't know, the prayer meeting in Portland or something, whatever group, whatever anti-communist groups or free speech groups we have out there, I mean, any right-of-center group needs to organize. They need to get together to show up at the headquarters at the Silicon Valley tech companies, the San Francisco tech companies, and protest peacefully outside of their headquarters. You need to show that you're not going to take this sitting down on your knees while they play dirty and try to control the public discourse. Other people have pointed this out, and this is effectively election meddling by silencing important, influential voices out there that should have access to the same platforms on an equal playing field. Hundreds of different interest groups that are not supportive of this attack on free speech should rally behind this cause. And wherever there is an office of YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, PayPal, etc., we need to show up in person and protest peacefully outside of their offices. Doesn't matter what country or what state you are in. If you're in the US, if you're in Europe, other countries around the West, if they have a server farm in your area, whatever, find out and organize and protest. Hundreds of thousands of people who are sick of the mentally deranged liberals and leftists that are for now running the discourse and steering mainstream culture in their suicidal and authoritarian direction. These people need to speak up and organize. With enough focus on this, we'll be able to force attention to the issue. Massive efforts need to be mounted against the people and the companies responsible for this. Think about it. We've been told time and time again that it is immoral not to serve someone because we don't like who they are. This is discrimination, right? Because of their skin color, because they are deviant in terms of their sexuality, because they're different, they're an outsider, they're a misfit, whatever it happens to be. This is discrimination. The lunch counter eventually did not have a choice. They had to serve people that they did not want to serve. The Christian baker who did not want to bake a cake for a homosexual couple was forced to do this. The reality is, though, that this is actually not even really that effective of a comparable example. Why? Well, because the homosexual couple could have just gone to another bakery and gotten their cake from there. So in that case, it's not free market. They're not free to do and serve who they want. In the case of YouTube or these other social media platforms, then it is the free market and they are allowed to serve whoever they see fit. There are plenty of other bakeries, if you want to go back to that example, that could have provided this service of baking them a cake, right? So they could have just gone there and said, okay, well, we don't want, we don't want to support these people anyway, but they didn't. They forced them and pressured them legally in lawsuits. Now, in terms of YouTube, there isn't any viable option to YouTube. Like the baker, you can't just go to another one who does equally good cakes or whatever. YouTube is one of a kind because it's the biggest platform out there. I'm not trying to put down any of the contenders, any of the alternatives, but the reality is it's just one of a kind. The competitors doesn't even come close. Same with Facebook and Twitter, and that's why everyone needs and want to be on these platforms. They need to be on the platform because this is what it takes today in the modern world to take part in the dialogue, the national and the global discourse. These platforms are effectively the town square, and all of a sudden, unelected people who happen to start a platform that turned out to be the favored one. In some cases, they were helped by the right people in the right places. In some cases, they stole it, like Facebook and Zuckerberg. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Now they are the biggest ones. It's just the reality of it. But they now have the choice to choose who to serve and who not to serve, based on their political opinions, based on what they think, based on who they are. And this is open discrimination. There's just no other way of looking at it. Why does the bakery have to serve when YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and PayPal doesn't need to serve? Think about it. Again, the baker, they could have gone to any other person. Think about it. These platforms is the major digital infrastructure out there now. This is the equivalent of banning some of the vital services out there, like roads, or being able to go travel to the town square. Unelected people have banned someone from the town square. You're not allowed to go there and talk to people and try to lobby for your cause and raise awareness about whatever issue it is. So this is a farce. The infrastructure for the digital gulag has been built now, and InfoWars is not the first one to be placed in it, but it's one of the larger alternative independent media operations to be placed in it. Now, for those concerned with Red Ice directly, this is what you need to know. We have been called by some the biggest alternative independent media operations of the existing explicitly pro-European or nationalist outlets out there. So it's very plausible that we are next. Remember, we have our very own platform that is not censored. We have redicemembers.com. All of the shows that we've ever done is on there. All of our videos, every live show, every TV show in full is there. HD, video quality, high quality MP3s. So go there, sign up. This is how we fund what we are currently doing. And we've, as you might know and recall, we had all of our recurring subscriptions recently taken from us, ripped away from under our feet without any warning, in an effort to destroy us financially so that we cannot continue our operation, when PayPal terminated our accounts on frivolous reasons. They didn't give us an option. We communicated to them, what have we done specifically? How are we in violation of your terms? Never got a reply about this. We don't know what it was specifically, what content it was. So we do need your help. We need you to subscribe so we can continue. We also need you to help out InfoWars in any way possible that you can. It's not only about us, it's about every alternative media voice out there. Everyone needs to be supported by you guys out there so that we can continue and push back against the establishment. Now also, redice.tv is our public website. Red Ice Members is for subscriptions only, but if you go to our public site, redice.tv, if you don't want to support us, if you don't want to subscribe, you can go there, you can bookmark the site and go to the website regularly for new content and from updates from us directly. We are on Twitter for now at Red Ice TV. We are on Facebook for now at Red Ice Creations, and we are on YouTube for now at Red Ice TV. But more importantly, we are on Gab. We have our personal accounts there. We are going to set up a Red Ice account on Gab. Also, another social media, not really social media, but it's another platform where you can reach and connect people, is Telegram. We are on Telegram. We'd like you to join us there. We have a Telegram group. This is a secure messaging app, and the founders, who are from Russia, ooh, spooky. Well, the reality is that the Russian government asked for the encryption keys from the Telegram founders, and they said no, and they moved Telegram to Dubai, and for now they are not pressuring them to hand anything over. So they seem legit. And we have a group there for now that is a direct line to us so that we can give you updates. So we'd like you to join Telegram at t.me/RedIceTV. Join us there. We're also looking into getting a Discord as well. We'll provide further links on our website about this when it's set up. But guys, in conclusion, legislation is the key here. There needs to be legislation passed that protects people like us who have differing views from the establishment. Trump needs to act with executive orders if he has to. We need a Bill of Rights for the internet, and free speech needs to be protected. Next, there needs to be mass protests outside of these companies, and the uprising needs to be massive. The big InfoWars audience need to rally behind Alex Jones and coordinate and organize mass protests. Peacefully, of course. Now the battle really begins. Are you going to be with us and free speech, or are you going to be with the establishment and their full spectrum dominance and control? It's up to you.